But from your perspective, what is your role in the real estate transaction?
Well, the role is multifold. I think first and foremost, it's guidance and instilling confidence in the client, so they know that they have somebody that knows what they're doing, for one, and will go to bat for them, which we do. We have a track record of pretty incredible reviews. And once you get into the contract process, people don't necessarily understand how much emotion goes into some of these residential real estate deals.
Oh, sure.
It's totally sentimental. These are people's houses that they've been living in for 40, 50 years.
Right, on both sides.
Yeah,
right?
and now you get a buyer.
You're getting your hopes up, and you're imagining, holidays and birthdays and everything happening in that house. And on the other side, you're remembering holidays and birthdays and everything in that house. So, a lot of times it's a transition, but sometimes, emotions can get in the way.
Like a huge example where people get very, very nervous is, I need this money from my sale to go buy another house.
Oh, yeah.
So I have to line up a sale and a purchase either the same day or the next day.
Timing, right?
And how do I get the movers? What do I do? That's a huge thing that people bring up. And, for good reason. But that is where an attorney definitely adds value, because there's going to be a separate agreement at closing where the seller's going to be able to stay in the property for X amount of time that's been agreed to, hold back some money in escrow for the attorney's side, and hopefully no damage between the date of closing and possession. But, these are all post-closing issues that pop up when I try to explain about my fee, which is definitely reasonable and in line with, I think, what the norms are going for.
Sure.
But I said, look,
So you've diverted to the more industry accepted flat. I won't ask you what it is. But
I never started hourly.
Got it.
The old firm was doing that.
Right,
I knew
right.
when I came out, I learned very, very quickly, sort of how to maneuver and how to continue to get business and build and grow. But, with something like that pops up, I'm like, well, look at all this work post-closing that's happening here.
Right.
And we're talking to the client, making sure, all right, you're comfortable with this. Have the confidence, know what we're doing, ask any questions. If there's issues with the property on the buy end, that's a huge one too, because they're saying, I closed, I'm at the closing table, I signed all my documents, I don't get keys? What do you mean I don't get keys? What do I have to?
Oh, yeah, so that all has to be known beforehand.
This has to be somewhat of a conversation, at least up front during the contract process, if there's, let's say, a post-possession clause in the contract, which almost every contract has.